crew, I'm Belinda Risley and welcome to the Motorsport Coaching Podcast, the show designed for motorsport athletes, parents and support teams who want to accelerate their careers both on and off the track. Whether you're struggling to secure a sponsorship, grow your social media or understand the business side of racing, because yes, motorsport is a business, this podcast is here to help. Each episode, I'll share practical tips, advice and insights, often joined by industry experts, motorsport athletes who share their real world experiences. So if you're ready to take your motorsport career to the next level, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hello crew and welcome back to the Motorsport Sponsorship Podcast. I'm Belinda from Motivate Training, and if you're new around here, hi, I help motorsport athletes build their brand, secure sponsorship and manage their careers off the track so they can keep racing. So if this sounds like you, team, I'd love for you to race over and subscribe and review to the podcast. You never miss this free quick training or our new YouTube channel. If you're just getting started and sponsorship feels overwhelming, but you're not alone. But the good news is you can learn this. You don't need thousands of followers, a big trophy cabinet, or a slick pitch deck to get going. You just need a plan and the right support. That's where I can come in. So team, today I'm going to walk you through 5 ways to get started with motorsport sponsorship, even if you have no experience and 0 sponsors right now. Let's dive in. Team, number 1 is to start with local businesses. When most people think of sponsorship, they imagine big brands like Monster Energy or Red Bull. But here's the truth. Most grassroots and amateur motorsport competitors are funded by local businesses. So think about your local mechanic, the bakery, the accountant, or real estate agent could be your first sponsor. Why? Because you already have a connection. You're part of their community. So I'd love for your team to start by making a list of businesses within 10 to 20 Ks of where you live or race predominantly. Visit them in person if you can. Share what you do, who your audience is, even if it's just your local karting club or online followers, and how you can help give their business some extra exposure. I think the most important part when it comes to sponsorship, team, is remembering that motorsport sponsorship is really motorsport marketing. And the more that we can all get into the habit of saying motorsport marketing, the more opportunities are going to be open for us. So team, let locals win first and then build from there. All right, team. So the old question around social media. Well, I always say that social media is a tool, but it is also importantly your digital resume. So before a sponsor says yes, they are usually going to check you out online. So I always recommend have your racing profiles, pages, and your personal ones, which are private. Which platform you choose is completely up to you and going to be based upon where your sponsors are, not so much where your fans. The most important thing when it comes to social media is that you're posting consistently about your racing journey, your goals, behind the scenes moments, and who supports you. So obviously just using Instagram as an example, there's obviously, I keep saying the word obviously today, as you can obviously hear. I need to stop. There are 3 pillars on that grid. So you can utilize those 3 pillars to showcase 3 completely different parts of you, really, of yourself, hobbies, skills, interests, sports, work, racing. You find whatever 3 pillars work best for you and then stick to that and be consistent. I know it's hard sometimes when you're not racing all the time. Maybe you only race 5 or 6 times a year, but there's definitely a lot of content that you can do to build not only your brand, but more importantly, show value to your sponsor and any prospect going forward. So team, if you haven't already, take some time after you've listened to this great podcast to make sure your bio includes your name, your category, and link it to something, even if it's your link tree or a contact form. Highlight your values, your sponsors, if anything, and of course, try and give a little bit more information about you, who you are as a motorsport athlete, what your goals, ambitions are, and how can people work with you. So this is going to help you build trust and gives businesses confidence that you will represent them well. Social media doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, hey, just look at my Instagram at motivate_team. It just needs to be active and authentic. So I don't like social media. It's not something that I love to do because, hey, I'm a middle-aged woman and I'm sure none of you want to listen to me nor have to look at me, but I do have good content. So I do try and do a mix of both video, reels, and carousels or images. if you're not confident being in front of the camera, there are lots of ways that you can overcome that and definitely still have a social media presence and start to build your brand. So team number 3, now I'm like in my head, I'm trying not to say obviously. Sorry, that's why I keep laughing. Team number 3 is to identify the benefits you can offer beyond just a logo. So quite often, when I'm starting to work with an athlete and I'll say, okay, well, what kind of things can you offer a prospect? And I generally will get, well, I can give a sticker on my car. Yes, I understand that. But that's one of the biggest mistakes I see is racers offering only a logo on their card or race vehicle and expecting a business to jump on board. That's not a partnership. That is simply a sticker. So instead, I'd love for you to make a list of actual benefits you can offer a prospect. Think about these in terms of marketing opportunities. For example, can you shout them out on a social media or tag them in a race day content? Can you feature their brand in behind the scenes videos or stories? So for example, like product placement, like when you're going to utilize their product to clean your race vehicle, or you're going to use their brand in order to get ready to go racing, or just you may use their brand every single day. Team, could you invite them to a race meeting or create a giveaway together? What kind of foot traffic, visibility, or community engagement do you provide? These prospects, new partners, are after data. They need to know who's your demographic, who are your fan base, and what kind of opportunity can you provide them. Until you know your data, and again, for things like the insights into your social media, which is kind of behind the scenes, like how many likes, followers, their sex, where they live, all that kind of information, especially if you're new or a young racer and you might predominantly not have a lot of race results that you can actually advise them. Team, I'd love for you to break it down, these benefits, into sizes. So basically, when I say size, I'm talking about what benefits can you offer a small local business. Maybe it's referrals or being mentioned at local events, inviting them down, having pop-up stores, maybe bringing your race vehicle down. What can you offer medium-sized businesses? It could be more branded posts or newsletter mentions. Again, you might be coming down to do some work experience in their work location in lieu of some financial support. And of course, like, what can you offer the big guys? Like, if you did want to go to Monster and Red Bull, what are you going to offer them that is something different than any other motorsport athlete can offer them? What activation ideas do you have? How can you help promote their brand? And all of those things that are going to make you unique and stand out is going to come from your external hobbies and interests, your family, maybe like your sister as a social media uni student that can help you do some really cool and wacky video or real content ideas, even though you might not like it. Maybe mum's a graphic designer that she can maybe do some work for a small business in lieu of financial support for you. There's always an opportunity there. It's just about thinking outside of the square about the benefits that you can offer the prospect going forward. So even without major race results, team, you can offer value and you are sponsorable. You just need to think like a marketer. And of course, if you ever do get stuck, I'm always here to help and offer a free strategy call that you can simply book in. I will put the link in today's show notes. Are you a motorsport athlete struggling with brand visibility, sponsorship, and media presence? Well, the Motorsport Sponsorship Club is here to change that. With expert guidance, strategic branding, inside knowledge, we'll help you secure lucrative sponsorship deals, help grow your social media following, and elevate your media. Transform your career both on and off track with the Motorsport Sponsorship Club, your ultimate resource for success. Race over and join the club today. motivatetraining.com.au/club for more information. All right, team. So number 4, practice your pitch before you send anything. So before you hit send on that email or DM, take a minute to think about the business owner on the other end. Again, when it comes to sponsorship or marketing opportunity, sponsors want to know ideally what's in it for them. Okay, they may be interested in your race results depending on what type of sponsorship you're going to negotiate with them. But realistically, when you're talking to them, and especially first up, you need to have an understanding of what's in it for them. Okay, so instead of leading with, I need sponsorship, try something a little bit more like, hey, Belinda, I love what your business is doing in our local community. I love to have a chat about a potential partnership that could give you more exposure through my racing. Okay, team, so see how just simply rewording that sentence can mean a completely different meaning, and it will have more value to the prospect. So because sponsorship is a relationship, it's definitely not a donation. Ask about the prospect's goals, their current marketing, what are their activations, what's in their plan, what matters to them. When you focus on them first, you're going to get a far better response. If you get stuck or wording's not your thing, please utilize AI tools like ChatGPT or like Perplexity. There are free tools around that can help you rewrite your sentences that's going to be in your brand voice and tone after some education. But don't be scared to utilize those tools to help you become a better wordsmith. Number 5, team, is be consistent and not perfect. You're not always going to get a yes from everyone. Realistically, you'll probably get more no's than yeses. But the ones who say yes, they will often say yes after a follow-up or after you show up week after week. So being consistent. Make sponsorship part of your weekly routine, just like your training or your sim work. Okay, I see so many athletes focus so much time on social media when it comes to race results, where they're racing, and everything. It's not really specific to sponsorship or it has a why really around, like, what is that post around? Like, why are they posting that? I prefer motorsport athletes who are needing sponsorship, that are needing to stay onto the track, to allocate more time to be seeking sponsorship, to make sponsorship part of your weekly routine, as I just said, like your training or your sim work. Make a goal each week. So you're going to send out 1 to 3 outreach emails. You're going to share one story about your racing, or you're going to try and get some testimonials from some old sponsors. Thank one supporter publicly. Whatever your goals are, set them every week, and have about 3 to 5 goals when it comes to seeking sponsorship. Put that time into your diary so you can actually sit down and focus purely on motorsport sponsorship, because I can assure you, you'll get to a point into your career where you'll be like, I don't have any sponsorship. I also don't have any time. Maybe you're at school full time, and maybe you're working part time, and then you're racing. And so then when it comes to doing any of this off track development, you just don't have the time. Of course, I can always assist you. I've got lots of programs and services that can work with you, or I can do it for you. That's for another time, team. But today, those 5 things about getting started with sponsorship is about starting local. Think about your socials. Think about your brand. How do you want to be seen? Be consistent with your socials. Identify what benefits you can offer prospects. Practice your pitch. Identify your 30-second pitch, okay? What kind of motorsport athlete are you? So if anybody speaks to you and saying, oh, okay, well, that's great. I'd love to know more about your racing career, Belinda. What can you tell me? Make sure that you've got it all down here or up here, so you can't see me, up there into your brain, that it just rolls off to your tongue. Practice that. Practice it in front of the mirror. Practice it with your mum or dad or with a sibling. So again, you need to become like a walking, talking billboard when people do ask you about your racing, that you can clearly articulate who you are, what you race, and hopefully, ideally, how they can work with you going forward. And team, be consistent. Be consistent with your approach. Be consistent with your planning. Be consistent with your social media, and be consistent with your sponsors once you actually have them on board when it comes to your communication. Team, if you want to make this even easier, I created a free sponsorship kickstart checklist that breaks down these steps into simple, actual tasks you can tick off this week. So again, that link will be in today's show notes. You can grab the checklist now at motivatetraining.com.au, and it will pop up onto that front page. And of course, if you are ready for more support done for your templates and life coaching, you're always welcome inside the Motorsport Sponsorship Club. If you would like some more information, race that link in the show notes, or again over on that Motivate Training website. Thanks for listening, team, and let's keep building the off-track side of your motorsport career. Until next week, I'm Belinda. Well, team, and that's a wrap for another episode of the Motorsport Coaching Podcast. I hope you found it valuable and picked up some insights to help you on your motorsport journey. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd love for you to subscribe on your preferred listening platform, leave a review, and share it with fellow motorsport athletes. Don't forget to follow Motivate Training on social media for even more tips and resources. However, if you'd like to take things further and work with Motivate, race over to motivatetraining.com.au and learn more about our Drivers Toolkit, the Motor Sponsorship Club, Accelerate Coaching, and of course, our Do It For You management program. All of these programs are designed to help you build your brand, secure sponsorship, and grow your career. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.